our champion. Oh, Yahuwah the awesome Yah, and there is none like him. With him we win. He's our champion. With him we can't lose. We always win. He's our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome God. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can lose. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome Yah, and there is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. With you we can't lose. together, family of power, this, excuse me, Yom Shalishi, day 3, for a time of intercessory prayer, a time of prayer, a time of Yah, that we know His instructions and His will for our lives. We're going to begin this great rising with the Torah. Repeat with me, Baruch Yahuwah.
Baruch Yahuwah.
The Baruch one.
The Baruch one.
Baruch is Yahuwah.
Baruch is Yahuwah.
The Baruch one.
The Baruch one.
For all eternity.
For all eternity.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Our supreme one.
Our supreme one.
King of the universe.
King of the universe.
Who selected us.
Selected us.
From all the peoples.
From all the peoples.
And gave us His Torah.
And gave us His Torah.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Giver of the Torah.
Giver of the Torah.
And it is so.
And it is so.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Our supreme one.
Our supreme one.
King of the universe.
King of the universe.
Who gave us the Torah of truth.
Who gave us the Torah of truth.
And implanted eternal life.
And implanted eternal life.
Within us.
Within us.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Giver of the Torah.
Giver of the Torah.
And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so.
Now we will turn our attention to the Baruch, to the reading of the commandments in the book of Devarim, chapter 5, verses 6 through 20. Aleph, I am Yahuwah your power, which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the bed of slavery. Bet, you shall have no other power before me. You shall not make you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shemayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the Mayim beneath the earth. You shall not bow down yourself unto them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, your power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the Abbas upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Gimel, you shall not take the name of Yahuwah your power and falsify it, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name and empties it. Dalet, guard the Sabbath to set it apart as Yahuwah your power has commanded you. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah your power. In it you shall not do any work. You nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your man, nor your maidservant, nor your ox, nor your ass, nor any of your cattle, nor your foreigner that is within your gates, that your manservant and your maidservant may rest as well as you. And remember that you were servants in the land of Mitzrayim, and that Yahuwah your power brought you out of the land through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore Yahuwah your power commanded you to keep the Sabbath day, the Sabbath rest. Pay Asaba and your Ema, as Yahuwah your power has commanded you, that your days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with you in the land which Yahuwah your power is about to give you. Vav, you shall not murder. Zayin, neither shall you commit adultery. Ket, neither shall you steal. Tet, neither shall you bear false witness against your neighbor. Yud, neither shall you desire your neighbor's wife, neither shall you covet your neighbor's bed, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is your neighbor's. These words Yahuwah spoke unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness with a great voice. And he added no more, and he wrote them in 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them unto me. And it is so. Luke 18:1, men ought to always pray and not faint. Debrei Yahaman Bet 7:14. And it reads, if my people, and we are his people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from Shemayim and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attentive to the prayer that is made in this place. But now have I chosen and set apart this house that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall always be there. And as for you, if you will walk before me as thou wilt your Abba walk, and do according to all that I have commanded you, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments. And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so. Now let us turn our attention to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. Repetition is so important. It never should be where we feel that we're just being redundant, but that we should always remember it is important that we rehearse, commemorate, celebrate, remember, repeat. Once we do it, repeat it again. Do it, do it, do it, do it. It is a part of our lifestyle, so it's important that we maintain our consistency. Chapter 6 of the Deuteronomy, verses 1 through 14. And it reads, These are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Yahuwah your power commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land where you are going to enter and possess it, that you might fear your power to keep all his statutes, his commandments, which I command you, you and your son and your grandson, all the days of life, and that your days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Yisrael, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily as Yahuwah your power of your Abbas has promised you in the land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our supreme one, Yahuwah is God. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah is our Savior. Yahuwah is a God. And you shall love Yahuwah your power, your supreme one, with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your bed, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the posts of your bed and on your gates. And it shall be, when Yahuwah your power shall have brought you into the land which he swore unto your Abbas, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you great and goodly cities which you did not build, and houses full of all good things which you fill not, and wells which you did not dig, vineyards and olive trees which you did not plant. When you shall have eaten and be full, then beware lest you forget Yahuwah, which brought you forth out of the land of its name, from the bed of slavery. You shall fear Yahuwah your power, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. You shall not go after the power of the people which are about you. For Yahuwah power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of Yahuwah your power be kindled against you, and he destroy you from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt Yahuwah your power as you tempted him in Massah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahuwah your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes which he has commanded you. And you should do that which is good, and that which is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah your power, that it may be well with you, and that you may go in and possess the good land which Yahuwah swore unto your Abbas. And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so. Now we're going to look at Tehillim chapter 63, verses 1 through 12. Once again, this is our platform for our time of prayer. Verse 11. Chapter 63 of Tehillim, verse 1 to 11. O power, you are my power. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land, where no my name is. To see power in your beauty, so as I have seen you in the sanctuary. Because your loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise you. Thus will I baruch you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips, when I remember you upon my bed, and meditate in the night watches. Because you have been my help, therefore in the shadow of your wings will I rejoice. My soul follows, pursues you, your right hand opposes me. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword, they shall be eaten by the jackals. But the king shall rejoice in power. Everyone that swears by him shall see beauty. But the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. So, it is so as we come together at this time, during this time, to seek the face of our Yah, that we may know and solidify his will and his instructions and his guidelines in our heart. Let us join our belief this great rising. You may kneel, you may prostrate, you may stand, but let us join our belief at this time. And it is so. But Yahuwah, in the mighty name of your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, as we come before you this great rising, we come asking you to forgive us of any and all sin. Blot out our transgressions that there be nothing between us and thee. As we come to you this great rising, we come with great expectation and anticipation of a move of your Ruach HaKodesh in our lives. As we stand before you this great rising, we trust and believe that you are able and that you will lead and guide us and instruct us even throughout this day. As this is a day that we've never seen before, as this is a time and an hour that we've never seen before. But we have great anticipation and expectation of your deliverance, of your covering, and of your preserving us in this hour and in this season. As we continue to move forward and as we continue to progress and as we continue to keep our momentum in you, I told you for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do, for bringing your people place of wickedness. As you have awakened us, I told you for awakening us out of our sleep, breaking old habits, breaking those things that are not pleasing and that do not esteem. I told you for bringing us through even this season of paganism. For many that are walking in it for the first time, many of those that need strength and need to be encouraged on this great day. I told you for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do. As this is new sun, walking and not going in the pagan days and in the pagan belief. I told you, Abiyah, for what you're doing. Help us, your people, to stay focused and maintain our consistency in you. I told you for those that will come into a knowledge and an understanding that they are not alone and that you are with them and that you are with us as a people and that we are together. Together stand divided, we will be conquered. I told you for causing us to have a great understanding and a great rising in us and through us as we continue to seek your face, continue to seek you to know your will for our ways. We told you for opening up the Torah to us and allowing it to teach us and guide us, allowing us to comprehend and understand what it is that you have and expect of us. Help us never to form our own opinion and create our own law, but help us to follow the instructions that you have given unto us, your people. I told you this great rising for unity and strength. Unify us from the core of our hearts, that we may be unified as a people, that we may know one another by the Ruach HaKodesh and not necessarily by the flesh. I told you, Abiyah, for what you're doing and for what you've done. As you're bringing us forth and bringing us through, I told you for strength, and for keeping us and helping us to keep our minds stayed on you. But you said, he that keeps his mind stayed on you, you will keep them in perfect shalom. I thank you for shalom, this uprising, for shalom as we continue throughout this day. I told you for, as we continue to study, to show ourselves approved unto you, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the Torah of truth. I told you, Abiyah, for holding us and keeping us as we continue to embark upon this great and awesome journey. As we continue to uncover, as you continue to bring forth and show us errors that we lived and walked in at one time, that we may come and that we submit ourselves unto your truth and nothing but your truth. As we continue to walk, purge us, purge our hearts, purge our minds, purge our lifestyles, that we will be that people that that you have proven through the Torah, that we will continue to walk and not faint, that we will continue to not be weary in well-doing, but that we will continue to stay focused, forward ever, backwards never, no sinking but swimming, that we may make it to our destination. As we continue to love you and continue to seek you, as we continue to study, as we continue to love you, as we continue to esteem you in your Torah and esteem you through your son, Yahushua HaMashiach. We Torah you, Abba, for what you're doing. Help us to stay focused. Help us not look to the left nor to the right, but to stay focused and look straight ahead. Help us truly, Abba Yah, to stay focused and keep our heart and our mind stayed on you, that we dare not become intoxicated and inebriated by the things of this world and those that are in it. I Torah you, Abba Yah, for helping us through the Ruach HaKodesh, that we may maintain our consistency and our course of action as we continue to seek you, the lover of our soul, as we continue to seek you, the Abba of our lives. We Torah you for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do. I pray for those that are scattered, as we all are scattered to the four extremities, that we would unite not to fight each other, but the enemy of our belief, that we would unite in our belief, and that we would begin to think alike, that we would begin to speak alike, that you would even visit us in our dreams or in our night visions, that you will begin to visit us and that we will begin to see you in a way that we've never seen you before. Help us to recognize and be able to identify error before it tries to attach itself onto us and lock onto us. Help us to be able to acknowledge and recognize those things that are not of you. Help us to be able to see through lies and see through deception and deceit. Help us to know these things of our own. Help us, Abba Yah, that as we continue to seek you and as we continue to lay down our lives, as we continue to develop in our walk, and as we continue to sell out to you, as we continue to seek you daily, that we may know your will for our lives. I told you, Abba Yah, that we won't get caught up in pride and arrogance, and we won't find ourselves chasing after those things that don't bring you any type of esteem. Yes. But we will chase after the Torah. We will chase after you, that we may happily find you. Abba Yah, in the mighty name of Yahushua HaMashiach, help us to stand and having stood, therefore saying, with our loins girded about with your truth, yes, that we dare not be entangled with the cares of this world and the cares of this life, that we dare not cast away our confidence, which has great recompense of reward, that we dare not sell our strength out for those things that are not like you and that are contrary to your will and to your way. As we stand before you this great rising, I pray for those that are at work, on their way to work, even those that have taken the day off, that as they find themselves resting, that they dare not become idle in their mind and idle in their ways, but that they will continue to maintain their focus and do what it is they know they have to do in you. For those on this great rising that are at work, let your shalom be there with them, and let it be in the atmosphere. Let them not dread going to work on today. Let them not dread doing what they have to do. I told you, Abba, keeping your people safe and secure. For those, Abba Yah, that are traveling and making their way back, not because they were celebrating the pagan holiday, but because they may have had things to do. I told you, Abba Yah, for their safe return back to their beds. I told you, Abba Yah, for your will being done. I told you for causing us to secure our way of life in the Torah. I told you, Abba Yah, for empowering our hands and causing our hands to do war. I told you, Abba Yah, for increasing our understanding in the Torah, that we may be a people that will rise up, and that we will be a people that are qualified, and that we walk in truth and walk in the and knowing who you are and knowing your Son as we continue to be intimate with you in our time of study. I told you for this great rising, for this day that we set aside, sacrifice a meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whichever one we sacrifice. I told you, Abba Yah, that it's not in the length, but in the dedication that we apply, that we may truly grab your heart, as you have grabbed ours, that we may grab your heart, that you would find our lives being esteemed in your sight, and that we would be a people, Abba Yah, that you would look to, and that you would groom us and fashion us to be an example. I told you, Abba Yah, that not only do we think of you, but you think of us. Not only have we chose you, but you chose us. I told you, Abba Yah, as we continue to present our lives unto you, that you may fashion us, shape us, and form us in the Torah, that we will be a people that you would take the light and you're in. I told you, Abba Yah, for people on this great rising that are going forth and doing what you have called them to do. Help us not to fear, help us not to stumble and fumble, but help us to continue to move forward and advance in the wisdom and the knowledge that you have given unto us, your people. As we cry out to you this great rising, I told you, Abba Yah, for helping us to remain focused and to stay vigilant and sober, that we dare not be drunk with the cares and the ways of this life, even with people and their ways and their doings. Help us to remain focused and help us to remember that we've got to work on our lives. For even Rabbi Shaul said, work out your own soul salvation with that which you've given unto us. We understand how and what we're supposed to do has been given unto us. Not something that we formulate, not something that we bring forth out of our own mind and out of our own volition, but through the Torah and that which you have given unto us, we are to work it out. I told you, Abba Yah, for the understanding of the Brit Hadashah, for the understanding of the first covenant and the second covenant, for how you loved us enough that you were willing to awaken us, that we may be those that would experience the covenant. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing, that what you've done. I pray for your people in the four extremities, those that are cast out in the four extremities, for those that are awakening in the four extremities, for those that are in places that are unsafe conditions. I pray, Abba Yah, that you keep your people safe, as you kept them safe in Mitzrayim, as you kept them safe in Babylon, as you kept them safe in Assyria. Keep your people safe even in this disposition. Help us not to lean to the left nor to the right, but to remain focused. Help us to put away childish ways, that we will truly mature and develop in the people that you're calling us to be, and the children of power. I told you, Abba Yah, that our ways would be upright before you, and that we would not walk in deception and be deceiving and be manipulative, but truly that we would have the right heart and the right focus and the right desire. I told you, Abba Yah, as we stand before you this great rising, I pray for those that are in Florida, for those that are in Texas, for those that are in Arkansas, Arizona, for those that are in Baltimore, for those that are in Washington, D.C., for those that are in South and North Carolina, for those that are in Louisiana, for those that are in Texas, for those that are in Georgia. I pray, Abba Yah, those that are on their way to Mexico. I pray, Abba Yah, that you keep your people secure and safe. I told you, Abba Yah, that the word, the writing says that the footsteps of the upright are ordered by you, and that if we acknowledge you in all our ways, you will direct our path. Help us to maintain our focus and help us never to become weary and well-doing. Help us to really understand that when a problem or when trials and tribulations arise, that we are to maintain our focus, and that you have given unto us the resolve and given us the strength to be able to stand. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing. As we are here this great rising, I told you for healing and for deliverance and for shalom for your people. As we continue to seek you for a complete and total healing in our emotions, in our minds and in our hearts, and even in our finances, as we continue to seek you, Abba Yah, that you will bring a complete and total healing to our lives. For those that are struggling with broken past and with things that have hurt them to the core of their hearts. For those that believe that they have to live in pain and they have to live in a certain manner. I told you, Abba Yah, that you bring forth wisdom. As we continue to move forward, I told you, Abba Yah, that what we can't change, we move forward. That what can be changed, we do what we have to do to walk in it. I told you, Abba Yah, for your will be done in us and through us. I told you for love and for shalom. I told you for a balanced life. I told you for bringing forth that shalom and that healing. For those that are wrestling with sicknesses in the body, for sugar diabetes, for high blood pressure, for lupus, for those that are even struggling privately with AIDS and with other diseases, with those that have diseases and they are ashamed to say anything to anybody. I pray, Abba Yah, for your complete and total healing to your people as we walk in your ways, your perfect ways. I told you for making us a perfect people. I told you for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do. For those that have businesses and desire businesses, for those businesses that have been in dry spells and dry spots, I told you for a fresh rain. I told you for those that are walking in obedience, realigning themselves to your truth. I told you for that what you're doing, that what you've done, and that what you're yet going to do. For those, that continue to walk contrary, I told you that even in your judgment that you would have mercy on them. That even in your judgment you have mercy on those that continue to be disobedient as you have given them something to do, but yet they continue to not do it. I told you for mercy even in your judgment. I told you, for those that are entrepreneurs and for those that are building businesses and those that are helping others build businesses. I told you for that relationship that you will cause your people to have, for the bond that we will have in the Torah as a people, as a family, the family of power. Yes. I told you, for those that have businesses, for those that desire businesses, that we will begin to bring forth, that you will give us the finances needed, that we're able to bring forth that which you have placed in our hearts. I told you, that you will cause your people to be debt-free living, that we would have a debt-free life, and that we will not struggle in this life. I told you, for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do. I told you for those that have sown into this ministry. I told you for them receiving 1,000-fold back. I told you, for your will being done. I told you as we're in the month of, or as we're in the time of Tibet. I told you, for leading and guiding us and teaching us our way of life as we continue to renew our minds and continue to renew our lives to Torah belief. I told you, that our lives will be transformed. We continue to go through the transformation process. I told you that we will not pick men, but that we will follow after you and that we will follow you. Your ways, not the ways of man. I told you, for what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're yet going to do. Breathe on us, immerse us afresh, that we will truly be a people clean in and out. I told you, for those that are hungry and thirsty after uprightness, for you said we shall be filled. As we are hungry and we're thirsty for your uprightness, feed us till we want no more. Feed us till there is no room for anything else. I told you, for this day, a day that you have made, a day that you have created, and that you've allowed us to be participants in it. I told you this day for making history, for us creating and making history. I told you, for drawing us to you and drawing us together as your children, the children of power. I pray for those that have lost a loved one in this time. I pray that you keep and secure us. Help us to stay focused. Help us to relish and cherish the memories that you've given unto us with those loved ones as they have gone on. I told you, for securing us and keeping us emotionally and physically fit. Help our minds to just remember the beautiful memories. Help us not to begin to sway that depression and oppression will be able to grab a hold of us. But help us to remember the good. Help us to remember that you did give us the opportunity to create memories with those that have gone on, to stand firm and fast in those things. I told you, for the families that are struggling, because you are a way maker. You are able to bring forth deliverance. You are able to bring forth shalom. For those families, for those wives and husbands that are struggling in their relationship, bring forth shalom. Bring forth that place of community, that place of communion. I told you, that you will restore the love and you will restore the foundation of family, and that families will be able to thrive and to flourish and to be able to move forward. I told you, for the wives and for the husbands that are truly trying and working on their relationships. I pray, that we won't become weary and that we won't become distracted. I told you for your will being done. I pray you, that before people will go to the courts of this world and this system. They'll seek out wise counsel for what it is they need to do to bring repair and to bring love and to try to salvage and repair the things that have been done. I told you, Abba Yah, for your will being done. Let us not be as a people still in the statistics with broke families and broken lives. For you are a mender of broken hearts. You are a mender of broken lives. Help that Ema to be restored to her children, and her children restored to her, and that Abba restored to his children, and his children restored to him. That Abba and that Ema restored together as one. That they will be one and not divided. That they will be one unit and not divided. That they will be as the example you was in Bereshit, and they became one flesh. I told you, Abba Yah, for that, and I told you for the communion and the fellowship and the communication, the very thing that keeps our relationships from flourishing and being able to develop health, being healthy. I told you that line of communication always remaining open. I told you, Abba Yah. I told you for your will being done. I told you for us remaining focused and steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in your work, knowing that our labor is not in vain in you. And I told you for those even in the Torah and even in the Hadashah, as if it is pleasing that they stay. I told you, but if they don't stay, that it is not held to them as sin. I told you for your will being done. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing and that what you've done in us, your people. I ask that you will multiply our seed sown and increase the fruit of our brightness as we continue to move forward in those things that you have placed in our hands. I thank you for broken relationships being mended and repaired. And I thank you for those that are healthy, maintaining the healthiness and maintaining that stamina and the momentum in that relationship. I told you, Abba Yah, for your will done. And for all that you're doing as we continue to move forward, help us to stay vigilant, help us to have eyes as an eagle, help us to be able to see, help us to be able to rise above our situations and see them from up top and not from beneath. I told you, for relationships and for building healthy relationships. I told you, Abba, for so many things that you can continue to do for us, your people, as we continue to look unto you, the author and finisher of our belief. Breathe on us as we continue to look unto you for our answers and for our well-being. For you are our provider. You are our God. For those that are still in this system and those that are still working and they have to put up with people that are still from in these times of paganism, I told you for giving us a strength and a boldness as we declare unto those we do not celebrate these things in these times, even those that continue to try to push it on us and push it in our faces. I told you, Abba Yah, that we will continue to keep our heads up and we will continue to denounce those ways and those things as we continue to hold fast to your instructions and to your way that you've given unto us as our way of life, not a religion, but as our way of life. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing. As I stand today, this great rising, I pray for those of us that have loved ones that are incarcerated. Help them not to get weary as they continue to wait for their time of release. As they know your truth and as that truth has been imprinted and branded in their hearts and their minds. Help them to stay focused and stay to it. Help them not to lose their character. That they'll be that what the system is trying to do will not be able to come forth. For those that are up for parole and for probation, let it not be denied them as they have walked and those that continue to walk according to your instructions. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing. I told you for those that are waiting, for the loved ones that are waiting, that we dare not become weary and well, and neither shall we become depressed, but that we will maintain our belief in you. I told you, Abba Yah, for these things. I told you for that what you're doing, that what you've done, and that what you're yet going to do. As we take this time also to fast, to turn down our plates, that we may hear your voice and that we may prepare our lives to be even more sensitive to your Ruach Kodesh. I told you, Abba Yah, that as we turn down breakfast, lunch, and some all three dinner, some just breakfast, some lunch, and some didn't. I told you, Abba Yah, that it's in the time, in the dedication, and not in the length. As we dedicate ourselves to this day, Yom Shalishi, a time that we dedicate ourselves unto you. I told you for our lives and for our health and for our strength. I told you, Abba Yah, that we're known, but that we are a part of a family, and I told you a great mishpachut as we continue to move forward. I told you for those, Abba Yah, that you're lifting up their heads, they're down, as their heads are down, and their hearts are heavy. I told you for lifting this great rising. Let them know, Abba Yah, that they're not alone. Let them know that whatever they may be experiencing, whether it's a marital relationship, whether it's with their children, whether it's with other portions of their families, whether it is they're feeling down and out because of things that they would like to change, but it's not moving that fast. I pray, Abba Yah, that you would lift their hearts and their heads on today, that they would know that that you are with them there, that we are a family, and that we're just a text away. I told you that what you're doing, that what you've done, and that what you're yet going to do. Give voice to our prayers, give voice to our desires and to our petitions as we continue to petition you, the author and finisher of our belief. We told you this day for that what you're doing, that what you've done, and that what you're yet going to do. We pray for those that are in the Mona, Biafra, Dali. We pray for those, Abba Yah, that are in places in Bethlehem, Jerusalem. We pray for people all across the land, our people, as we pray for the families and as we pray for the security and the safety, as many things are shifting, as prophecy is birthing itself, and as it's and unraveling, and as we're seeing many things, major ticks on the clock. Help us not to become fearful and weary, but help us, Abba Yah, to rejoice, for we know that our redemption draweth nigh. We told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing and that what you've done. As we continue to seek you throughout this day, help us to remain focused. I told you, Abba Yah, dismissing some things and opening doors for your people this day and closing doors and no man can reopen. I told you for helping us to walk as a perfect people, but you gave us a perfect Torah. And because your Torah is perfect, I told you as we continue to walk in it, that you will cause us to be a perfect people, a people mature in our ways, and help us to make the right choices and the right decisions, even at a moment's notice. Help us not to become fearful as we continue to move forward and as we continue to embrace our way of life. I told you that whatever we put our hands to do, it shall prosper. I told you, Abba Yah, for those of us that need vehicles and have vehicles that we are to sell. I told you for being able to do that in this season and in this time, that we're able to move forward in our lives and with the things that you have placed within us. I told you for those that you've given the ability to write, to be scribes, that you help us to give birth to the ideas that you've given unto us, as we continue to nurture and cultivate the gifts that you've given unto us, Abba Yah. I told you for these things and so many, many more, for the progress that you've allowed us to make with that which you have put us with. I told you, Abba Yah, for the fellowship that you allowed us to have this Sabbath, as we have enjoyed and as we continue to enjoy the fellowships, the new family that you are allowing us to meet. I told you, Abba Yah, that what you're doing, that what you've done, and that what you're yet going to do. I pray for you three as they continue to stretch out in you, and as you continue to give them a sound like no other, as you continue to give them music that ministers to the heart, that ministers to the soul, that ministers to the mind. So are you, Abba Yah, as they continue to go forward and as they continue to be a light to the nation of Yisrael. I told you for that what you're doing and that what you've done, for the things, the better things that are ahead for them. I told you, Abba Yah, for wisdom as you've given me to be their manager, wisdom and how and what we need to do from this point forward. I told you, Abba Yah, for that what you're doing, that what you've done, that what you're yet going to do. In the mighty name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And it is so.
And it is so.
It is so. Let us have our soul, please. We have come this far, I believe, leaning on Yahuwah, trusting in the Torah. He's never failed me yet. Oh, I turn around. We've come this far, I believe. We have come this far, I believe. Leaning on Yahuwah, trusting in the Torah. He's never failed me yet. Oh, I turn around. Come this far, I believe. We have come this far, I believe. Leaning on Yahuwah, trusting in the Torah. He's never failed me yet. Oh, I turn around. We've come this far, I believe. We have come this far, I believe. Leaning on Yahuwah, trusting in the Torah. He's never failed me yet. Oh, I turn around. We come this far, I believe. We have come this far, I believe. Leaning on Yahuwah, trusting in the Torah. He's never failed me yet. Oh, can't turn around. We come this far, I believe. Hallelujah. Mishnah 15 and 8, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination, hateful, and exceedingly offensive unto you, Abba Yahuwah. But the prayer of the upright is your delight. Mishnah 3 and 4. So shall we find good understanding, high esteem in the sight of man and of Yahuwah. And it is so.
And it is so.
Tehillim 34 and 15. The eyes of Yahuwah are upon the upright, and his ears are open unto our cry. The upright, verse 17, cry, and Yahuwah heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. And it is so.
And it is so.
Tehillim 1 and 1. Baruch is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unrighteous, nor standeth in the way of sin, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the instructions of Abba, and he doth meditate upon it, and it is so.
It is so.
Ibram 11 and 6. But without belief it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahuwah must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. It takes belief to be our obedient, diligent discipline. And it is so.
It is so.
Ayah 33 and 4. The Ruach HaKodesh and the breath of the Almighty have given me life. Micah 4 and 8. But truly I am full of power by the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Yaakov his transgression, and to Yasrael his sin. Yehukin and Aleph 5, 4 and 5. For what's born of Yahuwah overcometh the world, And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our belief. Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth that Yahushua is the Son of Yahuwah. Yahukin and Aleph 2, 5 and 6. But whosoever keeps his word, he's talking about truly the love of Yahuwah is perfected in him. By this we know that we are in him. He who says he abides in him ought himself also to walk just as he walked. And so, verse 17, and the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahuwah abideth forever. Somebody say, abideth forever.
Abideth forever.
Say it one more time, abideth forever.
Abideth forever.
All right. Devarim, chapter 11, verses 13 through 21. And it reads, and it shall come to pass, if you listen carefully to my commandments, which I command you this day, to love Yahuwah your power, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that you may gather in your corn and your wine and your oil. And I will send grass in your fields for your cattle, that you may eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve other power and worship them. And then Yahuwah's wrath be ignited against you. And he shut up Shemayim, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless you perish quickly from off the good land which Yahuwah gives you. Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall teach them your children, speaking of them when you sit in your bed, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your bed, and upon your gates, that your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, in the land which you will sworn to your fathers, to give them as the days of Shemayim upon the earth. For if you shall carry all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love Yahuwah your power, to walk in all his halakha, and to cling unto him, and it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so. And to cling unto him. Once again, let me a day of observation. Let this be a day that we seek Yahweh with all of our hearts, with all of our attention, and with all of our strength as we go throughout this day. Let this be a day that is that we continue to provoke his heart to be set up, to anticipate and to desire to commune with us. Let us provoke him to want to commune with us as much as we want to commune with him. And it is so.
And it is so.
As we come to this portion, let us bow and let us repeat this together. May the utterance of my mouth,
May the utterance of my mouth,
and the deliberation of my heart,
and the deliberation of my heart,
be desirable before you.
be desirable before you.
O Yahuwah,
O Yahuwah,
my rock
my rock,
and my redeemer.
and my redeemer.
May the utterance of my mouth,
May the utterance of my mouth,
and the deliberation of my heart,
and the deliberation of my heart,
be desirable before you.
be desirable before you.
O Yahuwah,
O Yahuwah,
my rock
my rock,
and my redeemer.
and my redeemer.
And it is so.
And it is so.
We have just recited Tehillim 19 and 15, and it is so.
And it is so.
As we've come to this portion of our great rising prayer and time of intercession, I want to say to you, those of you that have been with us and continue to stick with us in this our great rising time of intercession. Excuse me, I want to say to you, keep your head up, keep your shoulders square, keep your heart and your feet in and upon the Torah. You can't go wrong. And remember that no matter what we find ourselves facing, we're always the victor and not the victim. Never the victim, always the victor. We make victims. We don't become the victim. It is important that we stand and important that we remember who we are. We are the children of power. And because we are the children of power, we stand in a greater position, and we stand in a way like no other. Once again, just something for you to think about. It's important that we stay set apart. It's important that our lives always signify that we are the set apart people. Not just what we say, but what we do. Not just what we do, but what we say. It is a combination, like a lock and key. You can't have the key is obsolete without the lock, and the lock is obsolete without the key, because you need both of them in order to utilize it. So it's important that we understand it is about both what you say and what you do. Let us, on this time of this of this time that we find ourselves focusing on truly being the people of wisdom and being the people of power. That when people in other nations look at our lives, they will look unto us for answers. And they will not question us, but they will look unto us for the answers. So once again, I want to say to you, we love you, we're praying with you and for you. If you have prayer requests, please don't hesitate to send them to us through our messenger, and we will pray with you, and we will pray over. Once again, Yahuwah willing, at noon, we will be back into prayer. Pray with us. We will be on Instagram and posting it up there. And so, once again, let us unite our belief, and let us pray at that time for the will of our Yah to come forward fully and completely and its entirety in our lives and in the lives of our loved ones. Once again, I want to say to you, continue to stay encouraged. For those of you that are just starting to walk in truth, and you're feeling the resistance, and you're seeing a lot of family question your integrity and even your sanity, maintain. Don't let what people say and think about you get you to a point that you feel like you've made the wrong choice. You didn't make the wrong choice. You made the right choice. Stick with it and stay with it. And continue to keep your head up, and continue to know that our Yah loves you, and we love you too. We're praying with you. Once again, we want you to know we love you as we continue to move forward. And I know people are getting ready to celebrate even what they will call the New Year's. We know we've already come into our new season, and so there's no need for us to follow up on the pagan times. Once again, let not people bully you. Don't let family even push you into a corner, make you feel like you're crazy, and make you feel like you just went your way. And even if they don't say anything, you know their lack of communicating with you says it all. So once again, remember you have family, or you have Mishpachot in South Carolina, and we're praying with you and for you. Once again, keep your head up, keep your shoulders squared, and know that we love you and we're praying with you. I am Prophetess Sabrina Brown, also Moral 777, and I want you to know that I am the leader of Messengers of People's Kingdom of Great Belief Ministry in South Carolina. Love you, we pray with you once again. Remember, turn down a meal today. And for those of you that may not can turn down a full meal, then cut your meal in half. But show our God that you are serious, and that you are dedicated, and that you are committed to touching His heart and doing whatever it takes to touch it. And so once again, I know somebody will say, but I thought if we just lived and walked by the Torah. We do. But if you read in the Torah, you'll find that they did fast. But we don't want to fast only when things get to their extreme. We want to have a lifestyle of fasting. And so once again, it's important that you do so. Drink plenty of water. And for those of you that just can't go total, drink a little bit of juice. But once again, remember, it is about the dedication, not the length. Once again, I want to say we love you. We're praying for you. We are looking for our Yah to do great things for us on this great rising as we continue to move forward. Once again, I am Prophetess Sabrina Brown, also Moral 777, and I am the leader of Messengers of Yahuwah's Kingdom of Great Belief Ministries located in South Carolina. And I want you to remember here, Messengers of Yahuwah's Kingdom of Great Belief Ministries located in South Carolina is the place where
the Torah does the body good.
Until next time, may Abba Yah Baruch Atah and keep you in His shalom until we meet again. Also, I want you to remember that you've been touched by Champion TV, a place where the champions reside. And it is so.
And it is so.